Something big is happening in Burkina Faso, and the West is watching closely. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, in collaboration with the Netherlands, has just inaugurated 45 floating fish farms in Samandeni, an ambitious project that could reshape the country's economy and food security. But why is this making headlines globally? Why does a local initiative have powerful nations on edge? This isn't just about fish farming. It's about independence, self-reliance, and a major shift in Africa's approach to sustainable development. For decades, Western influence has dominated Africa's economic and agricultural sectors. But now, Burkina Faso is taking matters into its own hands. Could this be the beginning of a new era for the Sahel region? Stay with us as we explore what this means for Burkina Faso, its people, and the global power balance. The West is reeling from Burkina Faso's latest strategic maneuver, a groundbreaking collaboration with the Netherlands that has led to the inauguration of 45 floating fish farms in the Samandeni reservoir. Spearheaded by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the country's transitional leader, this initiative is set to transform West Africa's food security landscape by reducing reliance on Western food imports and boosting local fish production. Burkina Faso is making a bold statement. Economic self-sufficiency is within reach. This development signals a pivotal shift in global geopolitics, showcasing how African nations can leverage strategic partnerships to break away from traditional dependency on Western aid. The Floating Fish Farm Initiative is more than just a means of producing food. It represents a revolutionary approach to economic empowerment, environmental sustainability, and regional development. With advanced Dutch aquaculture technology at its core, the project not only maximizes the potential of Burkina Faso's water resources, but also provides employment, technological advancement, and a strengthened economy. This move is part of a broader vision championed by Ibrahim Traoré to reshape Burkina Faso's economic landscape, steering the nation towards self-reliance. The West, long accustomed to exerting economic influence in the region, has been caught off guard. The success of this initiative has the potential to inspire other African nations to seek innovative, mutually beneficial partnerships that prioritize local interests over foreign dependency. The Floating Fish Farm Initiative, a revolutionary step. The introduction of 45 floating fish farms in Burkina Faso is a game-changer in aquaculture. Traditionally, the country has relied on limited inland fishing and imported seafood, making it vulnerable to supply chain disruptions and price fluctuations. This initiative is set to reverse that dependency by harnessing the latest in Dutch aquaculture technology, significantly boosting domestic fish production. Unlike conventional fish farming, where ponds or tanks are constructed on land, floating fish farms utilize enclosed net systems suspended in large water bodies like reservoirs. This allows for the efficient use of water resources, minimizing environmental impact while maximizing output, with cutting-edge feeding systems and sustainable fish breeding techniques. These farms are expected to produce thousands of metric tons of fish annually. The implications of this project extend beyond food security. It creates employment opportunities for thousands of Burkina citizens, fosters technology transfer, and helps develop a thriving local aquaculture industry. By reducing fish imports, Burkina Faso can reinvest the saved capital into other areas of national development. The project also lays the groundwork for a potential export market, positioning the country as a regional leader in sustainable fish farming. Why Samandeni? The strategic importance of the reservoir. The Samandeni Reservoir, one of Burkina Faso's largest water bodies, presents an excellent opportunity for large-scale fish farming due to its vast surface area and stable climatic conditions. These factors create an ideal environment for aquaculture, promoting fish production in a sustainable way. Floating farms, equipped with net enclosures and eco-friendly feed systems, contribute to sustainability by preventing overfishing in natural lakes and rivers. This innovative method not only enhances fish stocks, but also preserves biodiversity, offering a balanced approach to economic growth and environmental conservation. The reservoir's accessibility facilitates the participation of local fishermen, logistics personnel, and entrepreneurs in the value chain, fostering community involvement and boosting economic development. By utilizing an existing water body like Samandeni, the government avoids the environmental challenges often associated with constructing artificial ponds or disrupting natural fish habitats. This approach promotes responsible resource management and reduces ecological impact by expanding fish production in a pre-existing reservoir. Burkina Faso optimizes its natural resources to support economic development without harming the environment. This initiative exemplifies sustainable aquaculture and could be replicated in other reservoirs across the country. The government's commitment to this model strengthens the nation's position in sustainable aquaculture, enhances food security, and supports local livelihoods. The success of this project could pave the way for similar initiatives, improving the country's economic and environmental future. Ibrahim Traoré's vision: economic independence through strategic partnerships. Since assuming leadership in 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has pursued policies that emphasize economic self-reliance and sovereignty. His administration has actively sought partnerships that align with Burkina Faso's national interests rather than external political agendas. The Netherlands, renowned for its expertise in sustainable agriculture and water management, has emerged as an ideal partner in this vision. Traoré's leadership has been characterized by a pragmatic approach to governance, rather than relying on traditional Western donors whose aid often comes with conditions. He has sought mutually beneficial collaborations that empower Burkina Faso. The Floating Fish Farm initiative exemplifies this strategy, leveraging Dutch expertise to create long-term economic value without political strings attached. The partnership with the Netherlands demonstrates that economic cooperation can be built on mutual respect and shared interests. It sets a precedent for future collaborations, signaling to other African nations that they can negotiate favorable terms with global partners without compromising their sovereignty. The Netherlands' role: why this partnership matters. The Netherlands is a global leader in aquaculture and water-based food production. Its experience in developing sustainable, high-yield fish farming systems makes it a valuable ally in Burkina Faso's push for food security. This collaboration is not merely about providing financial aid. It involves the transfer of knowledge, technology, and best practices that will benefit Burkina Faso for generations. By bringing Dutch expertise to the table, the project ensures that local fishermen receive training in modern aquaculture techniques, sustainable feeding systems that reduce environmental impact and optimize yield have been incorporated into the floating farms, enhancing their efficiency. The Netherlands' commitment to sustainable food production aligns well with Burkina Faso's goal of achieving economic independence without degrading its natural resources. This partnership represents a shift from the traditional donor-recipient dynamic that has defined Africa's relationship with the West. Instead of aid dependency, Burkina Faso is gaining valuable skills and infrastructure that will enable it to compete in global markets. Economic and social benefits for Burkina Faso. The floating fish farms offer a wealth of economic and social advantages that extend far beyond mere food security. One of the most notable impacts is the creation of jobs. This initiative has already led to the establishment of thousands of positions, encompassing a wide range of roles from fish farmers and logistics experts to those engaged in the processing and distribution of fish products. This influx of employment opportunities not only supports individual livelihoods, but also stimulates local economies, fostering a sense of community resilience and growth. In addition to job creation, these farms are facilitating a vital transfer of technology and knowledge. Local workers and entrepreneurs are acquiring valuable skills in modern aquaculture practices, which is essential for building a sustainable industry that can thrive in the long term. As fish production ramps up, there is a corresponding expansion of market opportunities, particularly in areas such as processing, packaging, and even potential export markets. Furthermore, The financial gains generated by the fish farms are being reinvested into the community, enhancing local infrastructure, education, and healthcare services, thereby contributing to overall community development and well-being. Environmental impact, a sustainable approach. Floating fish farms offer a sustainable alternative to traditional fishing methods by promoting environmental responsibility. Their enclosed design prevents overfishing, allowing for controlled fish production while protecting natural fish stocks. Organic feed systems are utilized to maintain water quality, minimizing pollution and ensuring long-term environmental stability. These farms are particularly beneficial in preserving biodiversity, especially in areas like the Samandeni Reservoir, where native fish populations are safeguarded by reducing waste and improving water management. Floating fish farms contribute to a more sustainable aquaculture industry, ensuring the preservation of ecosystems for future generations. The West's reaction, a geopolitical shift. The recent success of Burkina Faso's initiative marks a significant geopolitical shift that has caught many Western powers off guard. For decades, Burkina Faso and other West African nations have relied heavily on Western aid and trade policies, which have shaped the region's economic landscape. However, this new project signals a departure from such dependencies, emphasizing the importance of diversified alliances that prioritize local interests and foster regional cooperation. Western media has framed this development as a potential geopolitical pivot, highlighting the implications of reduced Western influence in the Sahel region. Analysts warn that this shift could have long-term consequences, not only in terms of the region's economic policies, but also in its political dynamics. The growing ability of African nations to establish alternative economic partnerships with countries outside the West, particularly with China and Russia, challenges the traditional power structures that have historically dictated Africa's economic policies. As these nations forge new paths, they are asserting their sovereignty and redefining their relationships with former colonial powers. This marks a crucial moment in global geopolitics, where Africa's growing autonomy could reshape economic and political alignments in the coming decades, with Western influence potentially waning as African nations seek more balanced and diversified international partnerships. Future implications. What's next for Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso's success with the Samandeni fish farms has opened doors for further advancements in sustainable aquaculture. The government is now exploring the establishment of additional floating farms in reservoirs throughout the country, aiming to significantly increase production to meet both local and regional demand. This initiative could boost food security, creating jobs and supporting local economies. Additionally, discussions are underway to replicate this model in neighboring countries, potentially transforming the region's approach to aquaculture. If successful, Burkina Faso could emerge as a leader in sustainable fish farming, influencing food security policies and promoting environmentally friendly practices across West Africa. The success of these ventures could position the country as a critical player in regional agricultural development, contributing to the long-term resilience of food systems and offering a model for sustainable development that other nations may adopt. Closing scene. The inauguration of 45 floating fish farms in Samandeni is a turning point for Burkina Faso's economic strategy. By leveraging innovative technology and strategic partnerships, Ibrahim Traoré has demonstrated that sustainable development can be achieved outside traditional Western frameworks. As Burkina Faso continues to assert its independence, the world watches closely. Whether other African nations will follow suit remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: Burkina Faso is no longer waiting for the West to dictate its future. The launch of these 45 floating fish farms isn't just an economic move, it's a bold statement. Burkina Faso is proving that, with the right partnerships, African nations can break free from external dependency and build sustainable solutions for their people. This project is expected to provide jobs, enhance food production, and stimulate local economies, all while reducing reliance on Western aid. But the bigger question remains: Will this inspire other African nations to follow suit? Could this be a small step toward a larger movement for self-sufficiency across the continent? And how will global powers react to a more independent Africa? One thing is certain, change is happening, and the world is watching. What do you think about Burkina Faso's bold move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more updates, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next big story.